Welcome. Alright. So, Esper here with a couple copies of Citadel. This is card for card. BBD's deck list from the, Hey, Pythreon. Hope everything goes well for you this weekend. Thanks for the support. Happy Monday. So this is BBD's list from the last fandom tournament. He got second in. It's Hero with a couple copies of Citadel in the main. We got some Elite Guardmages, some Othakayas, just other good Esper Hero stuff. And a good multi-color cards. One card, something of note here, there's 2 copies of Noxious Grasp in the main deck, which has decks against most things that aren't mono red. So let's see how this goes. This seems fine. Looks like Sultai Kefnet. We just take their Thought Erasure here, because there's a chance they miss on land drops. Othakaya looks pretty bad here. Hero's just gonna die here, but like... I guess I could wait till 4 mana to play Hero and hold up Tyrant Scorn in the same turn. Morning, Clowncopter. Thanks for 7 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Citadel's a good pickup. It's probably one of our better cards in matchups like this. Alright, I think I just want to bounce this. This probably doesn't have much text outside of potentially saving my own threat from removal anyways, so I think I want to just tempo them. Keeping my health total high is valuable too, with Bolas Citadel as a card that I can play. No, it's just a card advantage engine, Burgle. I guess Scorn kills that, huh? Liquid is alright. The non-magic parts were good, the magic parts sucked. I didn't get DQ'd from a Grand Prix though, so my weekend went better than some people's. Yeah, Citadel's just a really powerful card in general, right? How do you know if you're a Citadel or a Command the Dreadhorde deck? Well, you probably know what kind of deck you are based on if you have Citadel or Command the Dreadhorde in your deck. I'm not sure I understand your question. Are you asking me how do you know which card you've registered? Like, is that what you're asking me? He was asking how to choose between the two. I have no idea. This is the deck list BBD's been playing, and BBD's much better at Magic than both you and I, so you should probably just trust people who are better than you at Magic to make decisions. Our God Eternal Kefnits are never as good as our opponents' God Eternal Kefnits. Never, never, ever, ever. So we're really looking for a 5-mana Teferi or another Citadel off the top here. Is ideally what we're looking for. I 2-3 dropped my first modern MCQ this weekend with a friend missing top 8. Modern going to modern. Wonder if we'll see Vraska come down here, because I assume this is taking Noxious Grasp. They're going to start drawing cards with this Vraska. Depending on what's on top of their deck, we could see God Eternal Kefnet come back down too. I guess we could see her kill Teferi, but killing Teferi with Othakaya looming seems less than good.
Don't worry, I got this.
That got my attention. Being ruthless has its rewards.
Yeah, Vraska seems like a weird inclusion in the opponent's deck. If only because, like, in my experience, the opponent's archetype tends to be pretty mana hungry, and you don't really have extra things to throw away to her.
Oh, I've done the hero thing.
And I get kind of punished here for playing the Othakaya out aggressively because they had a Narset.
Only time will tell.
Bored with this fight. I am just the trick for this.
And I could have, like, Teferi bounced this, killed the Narset. Maybe I should have. Opponent's deck's got a lot of Planeswalkers in it. I guess Narset's kind of sweet with Ugin and Liliana.
Queen Necromancer. Good help is easy to find in war.
Let's go ahead and pack it in here. Alright, so Grass seems pretty bad. Tyrant Scorn seems pretty bad. Narset seems great. Duress seems great. Liliana seems good. Veto seems good. Despark seems good. Deputy of Detention seems pretty mediocre against a deck full of removal. Rest of this seems fine. Oh, Elderspell seems great. Trim and Othakaya. Leaving some of these in to kill their Narset seems fine. So, yeah, that seems good. Yeah. Yeah, so if you're someone who's here because you're a fan of my MTGO/non-rotating content, I understand it's probably going to lose me some subs and support, but I'm going to be done playing Magic Online for the foreseeable future. The application's always been miserable, and I haven't been enjoying any of the formats that we can play on it lately. And I feel like trying to slog through it for the sake of keeping some of those viewers is just like, it's bad content, and I'm not enjoying myself, so I'm going to stop doing it. If you're someone who has a Moto deck waiting to be played in the queue, drop me a message and you can either change it to something for standard, you can save it for after rotation, or I can send you your money back. In fact, I'm gonna send the money back for the people that sent these recent Legacy deck lists in. Moto really sucks, so like if I'm not super into the formats that we're able to play on it, it's just not worth playing. I think they have Spell Pierce in their deck. Is it Disfigure? Could be Disfigure, right? What's more likely, Spell Pierce or Disfigure? Opt. Interesting. Okay. My viewer count's going to be really bad on any non-Magic game that I play Punchworthy. So, if I'm going to play a non-Magic game, I'm going to play just like Warhammer or Overwatch, I think. The reality checks on decks that are being played is solid advice for Modern, for sure. Veto's a great pickup here. I'm going to go ahead and veto this. That means I need to find an answer to Ugin down the line, but even if we just hit land drops, we get to cast this Liliana, which is great. We also just draw Duress like a boss. Just going to get aggressive here since they currently have nothing. And I'm sure they're going to like draw a Golden Demise and punish this aggressive line, but this puts them on a 3-turn clock, which is like pretty reasonable. It's not bad. That ramps us up. So you get closer to this Liliana. Picking out your horrors. That's exciting, Langler. New cards are fun. Oh, they actually don't even have mana to cast Golden Demise, huh?
Rise and shine.
Man, I really hope this application gets its stuff together before the release this fall. So this is a bug. And I think if I hit decline, it skips my combat step. No, it doesn't skip combat. All right. Phew. Kalov, thank you for the quarter viewer support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. All right, on the scoreboard. Let's do it. Hey, thanks for the 3/4 of a year, Aussie Pants. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Did I have lethal as Citadel? I don't think I had 10 permanents, right? Citadel needs non-land permanents to sacrifice. Davrim, thanks for the continued great content. Gets me through my office day. Here's hopefully to a modern shakeup today. Yeah, I wouldn't hold your breath. If all they do is ban something from Hogok today and don't unban things, I don't plan to play Modern again anytime soon. If they give us back Stoneforge Mystic or Twin or Birthing Pod, I plan to give it a reasonable shake. But if all they do is ban Hagak, Modern's still a trash show. This hand was a little speculative, paying off here by hitting our black source. I'm gonna take negate here, I think, so I can stick Narset next turn. They printed Gak so people would stop complaining about how bad Modern is. Alright, so we're hoping to find a way in our next 5 cards to deal with this Kefted here. That's actually really good for us. Because now we get to go... Now we get to do this into Thought Erasure. And take this away. I'm gonna keep that. I have these Elite Guardmages to draw some extra cards here. So obviously we're gonna get Golden Demise this turn, but this isn't that scary really. Because like this isn't card advantage except when it's down ticking, and like its down ticks don't have that much more here. Wow, they're eating lands. I guess this lets them flip the search sooner. That's really aggressive though. I gotta thank Allie for creating the Golos field deck. It's free wins every time with RDW. Yeah, I'd believe that. Huh? How do we feel about just like playing hero here? Trophy. Alright. So they shocked. So that kind of makes me want to wait to play this Liliana. How do we feel about hero into Guardmage here? I think I like it. That shock there feels like they might have a negate. Yeah, and like, even if they have like a sweeper-ish effect here, or like this kills this, I'm still pretty far ahead. And like the land draw there, because they trophied me, means I can like play a land and like untap and have Liliana plus Veto up. Are we sure we registered an Esper deck? We seem to be hitting our land drops. That's a really good question. Solid read on the negate.
The undead make great minions.
So even if they play Ugin and down tick on Liliana, I have a reasonable amount of power in play, so we get to kill that and start pressuring their life total. We're still behind at that point, but we're not just dead. Yeah, that beer sounds a little bit medium in paper for sure. Sounds like a lot of tokens to say the least. Yay, Nero this. Thank you for the 2 months of support. Maybe I'm hoping they give us droids back too. I would love a reason to feel inspired to play Modern, but I currently just don't have one.
a rest.
It might be right to just, like, hit their face there and then Elderspell the Narset. I don't know. Yes, yeah, exactly right, Burgle. This is all I wanted out of life. I just wanted to die with sweet cards in my hand.
You should leave.
Hopefully we draw a Planeswalker here so we can go Planeswalker, Elderspell, Vraska. I'm going to hold on to the Despark, because Despark exiles Cavalier and Kefnet if they find those.
Mind and body should move in unison, like wind and
I wonder if we'll see this get trophied in
before action.
Oh, Magic the Gathering. Oh, Magic the Gathering. I didn't bin 4 lands. They got bottomed. Maybe I'm supposed to not shuffle there because it's shuffling 4 lands back into my deck. I don't know. They also left Narset in play, which is kind of good for us. The fact that they just put that Kefnet back into their deck means they're not activating this Azcanto, or if they are activating this Azcanto, they shouldn't have put it back in. So we've got that going for us.
Hone your prowess.
Papi! Alright, so they need a trophy here. If they hit a trophy, we're still in a pretty bad spot, right? Because there's a land on top of our deck. If we could fade a trophy, we're going to be pretty favored going into next turn. Oh, that's true. That's true. If they trophy, we don't have a land to get, but we get to shuffle. That's a good combo check.
This isn't your average zombie horde. Good, mindless me.
Don't stop believing. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. That was an okay series, right? The old cast 10 mana worth of spells still have 2 mana up to represent a veto. That bodes well for our hero. Junk, junk, junk. Look at that. Won a match and didn't even move. Sounds about right. I realized I was giving up laddering last night when I was 2-1 and I lost rank. It's like it's like normally you go 2-1 and you stay the same rank and it's frustrating. But I was 2-1 last night and I lost rank and I was just like, nope, we're done. Check it out. Hey, John, thanks for the 8 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a good one wherever you are.
Sorry I'm late. I'll protect you.
Yeah, there's an article about there's an article about Yarok up on Cool Stuff Inc. I'm not gonna do one about aristocrats. It's just too close to rotation.
Here we go. Let's slow this down. That's more like it.
This is the Esper I know and love. Know and love, know and hate.
Let's get moving. Witness the ties that bind us all.
Not even 48 yet. What a casual. What's going on, Trey? I appreciate the 47 months. Hope life is treating you well. Elderspell sounds good. Time Wipe sounds excellent. Despark against their Nissa deck sounds great. Hostage Shaker is probably absurd here. Veto is probably a little bit mediocre. Bolas' Citadel is probably unnecessary. Maybe this is a Sacred Cow and you're just supposed to never cut it. I could see that. Yeah, seems great. It's got 4 lands guaranteed. It's got all my colors. Sign me up. Is Guardmage any good without buffering your life tools to do it? Well, my opponent's deck is playing like Pelt Collector and stuff, so I assume their deck has somewhat of an aggressive slant to it. Like, if their deck has an aggressive slant, like, gaining 3 and having an extra creature is probably good. It randomly lets me pressure their planeswalkers, too, which seems nice. Alright, so they Veil the Summered. So I just get to plus this turn rather than bounce nothing. I think there's any chance they ban something in Standard. 0%. Standard rotating super soon. Nothing's changing. Like, if I could give you a number that was less than 0.
From the smallest ant to the largest hydra, nature is beautiful.
Yeah, ban and restricted usually posts in about 2 hours.
Get 'em.
Get him. We gonna trade planeswalkers here? Not even really. Like, I'm gonna kill their Vivian. I guess if they... Well, you can't Veil in response to Teferi Bounce. Because when Teferi Hero of Hearthstone is in play, you can't respond to things with instants.
You haven't seen the last
Yeah.
of me.
Hey, Bastard, thanks for the 1.5 years. I appreciate that. Welcome back. This is Anissa. Just a Ceratop, sure. Yeah, we're in a little bit of trouble here. The Elk! Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Thank you for the 12 months of support. I appreciate you keeping me around. Welcome, welcome.
We will meet again.
This isn't mana efficient, but I think I'm supposed to do this turn. Yeah, Just like try and take an actual threat out of their hand. That does not kill this. This deck's actually incredibly light on ways to kill Ceratops, isn't it? Because like Hostage Taker doesn't work, Deputy doesn't work, Scorn doesn't work. Are we dead? Feel pretty dead.
True power.
I guess I could hit a Despark or a Noxious Grasp here. Yeah, the garbage type emote turned out really well. I'm gonna take one draw here. We could hit a way to kill this. So we won a match and didn't gain percentage. We lost a match and then we lost percentage. Yeah, we're probably just going to play all the decks on the ladder today. Because it really just doesn't matter. Okie doke. Are we gonna have a Thought Erasure throat punching mirror match? That's exciting. They have a Veto. Syncopate. One of the really tilting matches I lost last night while trying to ladder with Yarok is I got triple syncopated out of a Jeskai Planeswalker opponent. It was not a good seed. Another Keftin opponent. Interesting.
This isn't a fight you can
So they're probably not playing Hero if they're playing Keftin, I'd imagine, right?
suppose that's how it was meant to happen.
Alright, so I suppose there's a world where we never draw an answer to this. But that's some tempo for it right there. So feeling like we're in a pretty good spot here. Send it back from whence it came. So we get to do this. And now we plus this to clear a card we can't play off the top of our deck. Was that good? I can't tell. That sequence might have been slightly above average. This card's super powerful. Even in a fair deck like this. We played some combo shells with Bolas Citadel. Vraska's Contempt. What year is it? I think it's this one. Maybe it's that one. I don't know.
I know my responsibility. I've got time.
So if I play this, it like lets them... It lets them, like, kill this and then oath one of my things, which I don't think I want. So, it gives me the inability to not clear this next card off the top of my deck, but I think that's fine.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
These, like, technically cost me 1 life, which is sweet. Let's just send this upstairs. No, the opponent cannot see the top card of our deck. Arena just leaves it face up for the ease of you seeing it. So Citadel just says you may look at the top card of your library. You can cast it by paying life. Oh, waiting on me.
Let's try this.
Gosh, look at all these cards we had to discard to hand size. So unlucky. It actually doesn't, Jin. It gives you a separate window. That's unfortunate. I was gonna ult my Teferi.
Time is much more malleable than people think.
3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they're actually dead, right? An attack plus a Citadel activation is lethal here. Yeah. Well, you can't deputy your own things. Otherwise, it would actually be kind of a sweet line. Alright, so we're going to board similar to how we boarded against the previous deck. Cut a bunch of this removal, bring in counter spells and extra planeswalkers. Maybe I cut all the Othakayas here. The rest of these cards seem fine. Yeah, the rest of this seems pretty okay. It is not Detention Sphere, and notably, it if you and your opponent both have the same named cards in play, it only takes your opponent's copies of those cards, which is really nice. A little bit better than Detention Sphere in that aspect. We played Citadel in Party Bus. I'm not sure that card really fits in that deck. Like, that deck already has an incredible number of really expensive cards in it. So, like, adding more expensive cards, I'm not sure it really solves problems that the archetype has. So, no, I haven't. I'm not sure what the appeal to doing so is. I guess would be my question. Like, what are we looking to do in that deck that Citadel's really enabling? Not a big fan of mulliganing in these Thought Erasure mirror matches, so mostly keep anything that has lands and spells. It's a good pickup. You would D-sphere your own Sylvan cannons to get your opponents. That's definitely something that came up. Mayhem Devil plus Citadel is funny, isn't it? The old 20 ball then. Oh, they missed their third land, huh? That's good for us. They're hitting it this turn though. Yeah, Elderspell is really sweet, especially in consideration of the fact that like it what's the word that I'm searching for? It lets you kill your single-use planeswalkers or your double-use planeswalkers to get something useful back. It's a good draw.
Hold that thought.
Hold that thought. I think Elite Guardmage is on chump block duty here. Although leaving them this is a little bit scary. Our opponent's Kefnits are always much better than ours. All right. We know they don't have a land, right? 'Cause they've been missing that. This is going to accelerate them into flipping their search for Azcanta. They do get to ego me this turn. I assume they're going to take Citadel away after the dumpstering that card gave them last game. And if this is a land and they cast Ego this turn, then next turn they can bin their top card and get this going. If they don't unban something in Modern today, I'm going to be taking a break from Magic Online for a while. I really don't like the current Modern format, and Legacy's just not really my cup of tea, and Magic Online as an application really kind of sucks, so... They take Citadel, we have to grind it out like a fair deck, right? It's not a good scene. I wonder if they take Elderspell. They are taking Citadel. Yep. That card definitely goes way over the top of anything they can put together. I mean, some people really like the online gambling aspect of Magic Online. And like I can definitely understand that. Like when I was playing a ton of Magic Online, during grad school, I was regularly cashing like anywhere between $200 and $500 a month out. Yeah. And like, well, you know, $200 to $500 isn't a lot of money when like you're in grad school. Like, it's like the same as working a part-time job, only you're playing Magic instead of actually working. We are the 97%, chat. Has a lot changed in the last round? Yeah, it actually has a lot, Zombie Token. I know you're actually tuning in today on a day where we're playing Esper, but we actually haven't played... Is this the first time we've played Esper? This is one of the first times we've played Esper in recent months. Experimental Frenzy is definitely the card we can't be. It's actually really funny if you haven't played for a little while and you're poking in while we're playing Esper versus Mono Red. Because these are actually two decks that actually aren't that popular in the current format anymore. And M20 was a really good shake-up from War Standard. I really did not like War Standard, and I think this current Standard format is very reasonable. When did I do grad school? I did grad school immediately after undergrad. And I started college early. So I finished my undergraduate program when I was 20. We're getting punished with BBD's main deck Noxious Grasps here. Although we're in a pretty good spot overall, all things considered. Elite Guardmage is an excellent draw. Is Citadel a real thing? Well, Citadel is very real in this deck. However, if you're referring to the green-black Citadel combo style deck that we'd played a good bit last season, that deck I don't think is particularly good anymore. We get to untap with this Teferi. We're in a pretty good spot.
As soon as I think of one. We need to move quickly.
Would love to draw a removal spell to keep Teferi alive another turn. Meh. Yeah, grad school is just a master's program. PhD work takes a lot of time. Edge Freak, I'm sorry. Shout out to Whiteboards for being so remarkable. I thought I mentioned that. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I just read it and didn't say it. Which card was there before but is no longer there, Doc Prof Beard? If being a full-time meme here on the internet ever stops being a job, I'll probably go do PhD work somewhere. I really liked school. Part of the reason why I became a teacher was in large part due to the fact that I enjoy academia. This is the Hog Band waiting room. It's something. Thanks for the 21 months, I heard.
Keep up the pace.
Yeah, feels like we're in garbage time here. Maybe they could hit a frenzy and get one over on us. KCI. There's no way they're unbanning KCI.
Hurry!
Hurry! Slow grind. Take it easy. Do 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 do. All right, Drew, one of our main deck Noxious Grasps against Mono Red. Won anyways. Hashtag busted. Deputy of Detention's pretty mediocre in this matchup. Golden Demise is probably fine, huh? I'm gonna play a Hostage Taker. Rest of this seems okay. This card's probably not good, huh? I'm probably supposed to cut this. Maybe I just want some Duresses. I could see that. Having more ways to potentially deal with Frenzy seems good. Yeah, I agree. I really hope they ban the most played card in the format. A card with that amount of play can't possibly be healthy for the format overall. Afternoon, Moxane. All right, so taking 3 here down to 13. If I don't draw something useful, I'd love to draw Oath to Kaya. Yeah, I think I'm actually just gonna like Teferi bounce this Chain Whirler here. And obviously they can replay the Chain Whirler and it kills my Teferi, but that uses their mana next turn and it saves me 2 points of damage ultimately, so I think that's a worthwhile exchange for me.
It's only a matter of time.
Hey, Oddman, thanks for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. I'm gonna run back the Time Raveler play again here, I think.
Trust me. You'll thank me later. Don't worry. I got it.
So I'm going to 6 here. I think unbanning a Birthing Pod would actually impact the modern metagame. Yeah, I think it would impact it in large part due to the fact that people love playing the card Birthing Pod. So even though it probably won't be good, people will still register it. But, like, that's a pretty significant chunk of Modern, right? A pretty significant chunk of Modern is people registering cards that aren't actually good because they love casting them. Alright, so if we can fade a deal 3 next turn. So they're going to Lava Coil this hero, and then next turn we can go Hero Elite Guardmage. So if we don't die this turn, we're in a pretty okay spot. Not good, but, like, okay. Like, if this is another blank or, like, another creature... Am I dead? Never not dead off the top. I am implying people predominantly play games to have fun. It's a weird hypothesis, but it's one I'm gonna put forth. I actually think, what's it called? That's part of the reason why this current standard format is gonna make a good base for historic, is there are so many decks people are playing in the standard format that I don't think are particularly good, but they're relatively competitive. And like, there's just so much variety in it. This format feels a lot like Modern without ever having to die on turn 2, which is great. Uthakaya, that's a good one. Yeah, never not Experimental Frenzy. Hey, Kind Fiend, thanks for the 4 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I mean, there's people who genuinely enjoy playing those style of decks out of some. So I'm not playing on Elite Guardmage this turn, because not only does it require me to shock myself to do so, but my opponent has a Lightning Strike lying in wait here, so I'd much rather they have to send that Lightning Strike at my face. So we're going to go to 10 here, but then I've got double Elite Guardmage in my hand, which is pretty good. Did you remember to renew your subscription to Hoaglandia? Pepperidge Farm remembered. Pepperidge Farm, thank you for the half a year of support. I appreciate that. A plus meme. If you're a fan of playing traditional mid-range decks, you're probably not going to be a fan of this current format. Traditional mid-range decks are very bad in the current standard format. Yikes. Esper and Mistland drops. Name a more iconic duo. Do you think there is a Bantscape shift? Do you think Bantscape shift has made Esper hero / control more irrelevant? I think those archetypes existing have made I think those archetypes have made these decks struggle a little bit more, but I also think these decks were too good last season, so having a Predator for these decks existing in the format overall is a good thing. I also think, as we're playing this Esper hero list, I think this deck is very reasonable. And Brian didn't come in second in the fan tournament by mistake last weekend with it, by accident. I think this deck still got plenty of legs. I think it's not indisputably the best deck in the format anymore, but I think it's still plenty playable. It's garbage time. You don't have to go home, but you can't play here. Do 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 do. Yeah, I agree, Burgle. 5 mana. 5 mana Teferi still busted. Who knew?
No time for a break.
No time for a break. Golden Demise being one-sided is busted. If they hit a good frenzy, we could maybe be in trouble. Morning Squid. Despark's a great draw because it insulates us against a potential frenzy.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
I'm not done yet. Alright. If we weren't already in garbage time, definitely in garbage time now.
No more games.
No more games. Thunk. Sure.
Hold that thought.
Hold that thought. This is the part where if I was playing paper magic, I just have my hand face up on the table. Just like these are my cards. You're allowed to concede at any point. Because like this opponent's probably like still hanging out because they could realistically hit Frenzy, and if I don't have an answer to Frenzy could get them back in the game, but like if they just like know I have a veto, they'd almost certainly concede most of the time. Almost all the time, I think. Yeah. In a Magic tournament, you're allowed to reveal hidden information to your opponent at any point, so long as you have access to that information. So, like, a really important distinction is that you can't, for example, flip cards off the top of your deck that you don't know are there to, like, try and decide the outcome of a match that otherwise was going to draw. But you can say, these are cards in my hand that I have access to and I can share that information with you. That is very much allowed.
I can no longer stand by and watch. I've got time.
Can you lie about it? I mean, you're always allowed to lie to your opponent about hidden information. Your opponent's not required to believe you. I mean, you're welcome to say you have a veto. Like, Magic's a game that involves bluffing. There's no penalty for that's basically bluffing. You can't lie about known information, but you can say, I have 3 cards and one of them's a veto.
Bad idea. Trust me, I have a plan.
Alright, so I think my plan here is to wait till I get a few more zombies before we deputy. My opponent appears to be playing the Golos deck that Ali popularized a little bit. This matchup is actually what the finals of the Phantom Tournament were last week. And this matchup's almost certainly terrible for the deck that we're playing. Will I be able to play Historic and Constructed Events? I believe so. I believe that's what Wizard said. There's not going to be ranked, and there's supposed to be best of 3 for Historic in the fall. So I imagine Constructed Events are what you'll be able to do. Balloon Newbie, thanks for the 20 months of Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. And Boxman Dave, thank you for the 15 months of support.
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
So I think I do this, and we just have to tuck Golos in here.
This isn't a fight. You need to take a timeout.
Maybe I'm supposed to bounce a zombie with this Time Raveler. I could see that. Is like, they're gonna attack everything into Teferi here, and I have to throw away my hero if I don't want my Teferi to die. I kind of want my Teferi to live even with the second one in my hand, I think. Yeah, I agree. So long as there's a queue that fires that has best of 3 available to it, I think that's not a big deal.
That didn't go according to plan.
All right, and the fact that they're casting Root here means they're shuffling away that they're shuffling away the Golos that we tucked in, so that's nice. Hero's a decent draw. Am I deputying these or am I playing Hero of Dominaria? If I play Hero of Dominaria, I have 3 easy blockers. So that means he probably dies. I think I want to just deputy here. Especially because I have Teferi Time Raveler in play, which can bounce my deputy and then replay it. I think this is a pretty reasonable thing. Ban list update hasn't happened yet, Engineer. Happens about an hour and a half from now, typically. Well, Nexus of Fate's a little bit punishing for attacking with the Elite Guardmage. My best piece of advice for new college students is show up and do the work. I'm like, unlike high school, nobody cares if you dick around and don't show up. Generally 8 a.m. PT is when it posts. Am I just letting this die? I think I'm just letting this die. I'm just like taking my free eats and letting this die. Yeah, this attack was bad, knowing that they're an Nexus of Fate deck. Yeah, if you're a certain type of person, 8 a.m. classes are fine. If you're not the type of person who's going to show up to the 8 a.m. class, you definitely shouldn't take it, though. No, know yourself. Was that a good draw? I feel like that was a good draw. Whee!
Sorry I'm late. Let's try this.
I believe we have died. Decks like what our opponent is playing are likely pretty impossible for us. Like I said, this is a repeat of the finals match from the Phantom Tournament last week where Brian lost to Ali playing the opponent's deck. The opponent's deck just like kind of goes way bigger and greedier than anything we're able to put together. I'm actually just going to go ahead and concede this match and move on to playing one more. Because the very likely outcome here of us continuing to play is we're going to lose. And I'd rather not spend another 20 minutes losing when I could just play another match. This format we've talked about this format being a lot like Modern. This format is a lot like Modern in that there's a number of polarizing matchups in it too. Which they're not quite as polarized as what's going on in Modern. Like if I reconstructed this and put a bunch of unmoored egos in the sideboard, we'd probably be okay there. But without a bunch of unmoored egos, we're gonna have a bad time. What matchups are hard for Golos? Anything that plays a bunch of 1-drops. The Golos deck has very little respect for aggro. Anything trying to play a similar game plan to what the Golos deck is doing is typically going to lose to it, though. The Golos deck is bigger and greedier than anything else in the format. It might struggle against Wilderness Reclamation Nexus decks, maybe. Maybe that's something that gives it a hard time, too. I don't know. I haven't played that matchup enough to know. That bad control player. Thanks for the 14 months of Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Hope you're having a good one wherever you are. Welcome, welcome. Morning. Gooch Champus Prime.
I know my responsibility.
Looking for a black source here.
Like it.
Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, those decks aren't consistent enough to be worth a consideration, though, Dale. Yeah, I think there's a chance we're supposed to reconsider how the sideboard in this deck is constructed in order to give it a better chance against the Golos deck and against, to give it a better chance against Golos and Kethis. Ripping their Elderspell here is great, especially since we drew a 5-mana Teferi.
Trust me, I have a plan. This is hardly my worst defeat. You know what? I'm not done yet. Might be a bad idea.
Deputy of Detention is not really a card I want in this matchup.
No time for a break.
No time for a break. Give me a break, give me a break, break me off a piece of that Teferi bar. Do 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 do, be do do do. 18 years of college. Woof. That's a long time. I looked at PhD programs right after grad school, and they are not short. Like, the shortest math PhD program I could find in the US was like an additional 5 or 6 years past my master's degree. I was just like, I want to have a real job before then.
Won't let you win. Don't worry, I got you.
Yeah. Yeah, a big part of the whole college issue in the United States is how much we push young people towards college is the only answer, and like, you're a failure if you don't go to college, and like, it's very silly. It pressures people who are very young and aren't prepared to make decisions that are going to impact the rest of their life to make those decisions. I was very fortunate to have a mother who steered me in the correct direction when it came to school. Well, our opponent's on empty. Our hand's not particularly good, but their board state also isn't good. So, like, feel like we're in a pretty okay spot. Veto is actually a great draw here. I'm just going to go ahead and hold that up. I should have attacked. I missed a free point of damage. Morning, Dude Light. Happy Monday. Now that's a good pickup.
If you show remorse, hurry!
What if we didn't? I wish we could ban irresponsible lending and borrowing, but then how would Trump ever start another business if we banned irresponsible borrowing? Right, Charles?
Let's slow this down.
Alright, hopefully they don't draw a Thought Erasure here. If they hit a Thought Erasure and take my Citadel, we might be in trouble. Alright, they did not.
I am not going to sit this one out. Reverse. I won't hide from the world any longer.
Oh, battle cruiser magic. That's just such an apt description of these games. You're just like, what if I go really big? Yeah, what if I go even bigger? Prepare the destroyer. Deputy Detention's kind of medium here. We're gonna board the same way we boarded in the last one, right? We're gonna cut a bunch of the spot removal in the Deputy Detentions. We're gonna bring in Duresses, Despark, extra counterspell, Narsets, and Liliana Dreadhorde General. Seems good. So, normally we joke and say this is no changes day, but it's pretty safe to say Hagak is getting banned. Something from Hagak is about to bite the bullet. Something that I've talked about on stream before is I think cards like Leyline of the Void and Rest in Peace are good safety valves to have in the format to give players a chance when Wizards makes a mistake. But I also think that if Leyline of the Void and Rest in Peace are cards that players actively want to be playing in your format has a huge fundamental design flaw, because cards like Leyline of the Void and Rest in Peace encourage the types of gameplay patterns of I'm looking for my sideboard card, and then the other player's looking for their anti-sideboard card, and those games are very shallow and uninteresting. Hey, Patron, thank you for the half of your support. I appreciate this. What if we get sick of banning graveyard cards for every year and a half and finally got rid of looting? I agree. I think that would be good. I'm actually just going to pass here because I have plenty of land, so I think I'd like to veto like a 3-mana Teferi here if they have it. Because like, I can also just do this, right? Just like wait to play hero with 2 mana up. I think that seems pretty reasonable. So, I'm going to play Time Raveler this turn, because playing Time Raveler this turn means I'm pretty likely to stick the Hero of Dominaria next turn.
We need to move quickly.
Yeah, Veto's like that card is just like, no, this really isn't resolving. Stop it. Think I want to just tuck this in. If they have a Citadel, we're going to be in a little bit of trouble here. Elderspell would be annoying, but not the end of the world. Can I concede now? I feel like I can concede. I probably should have conceded before they started looking through my deck. That's one of the awkward things about the priority passing in Arena. In Paper Magic, I would concede before they're able to look at my deck there, but there it's a dexterity game because I have to do it before they type in the card name. And this reminds me a lot of these mid-range decks from last season. While this deck seems okay and it's almost certainly competitive, I feel like especially the mid-range mirror matches they're just an arms race. The first one to Citadel, unchecked, just like, wins in a not close manner. So there's not a lot of intricacy or small edges in these games because all of the decisions you've made up until a certain point essentially get invalidated by your opponent resolving Citadel and then having it sit there for a turn. Yes, you can unsubstantiate a veto. That's not countering it. I'm actually going to keep this backup Hero of Dominaria here. I have this other Thought Erasure to help me surveil into lands, more lands. They don't have second blue. This is wrong. They're going to draw the blue source and I'm going to be very sad. Ding, ding, ding. I think I just get 2 for 1 by this here. I just hope to draw some lands for these Teferis. Since I'm staring at this cast down. It has been an incredibly interesting and stimulating game of Magic the Gathering, while my opponent and I trade blows punching each other in the throat.
This isn't a fight you can win. No, I am not making this up as I go. Right on schedule. Here we go.
Do 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 do. Esper, Miss Land, drop sucks.
This might be a bad idea. I'm known for my excellent timing. Trust me, I have a plan. No time for a break. I've got time.
This is my hand. I don't got lands, opponent, but I got biggity bombs. Biggity, wiggity, biggity bombs. They're just rolling the dice and hoping I continue to brick here, huh? Survey says, never lucky. Never lucky.
I can no longer stand by and watch. There goes nothing.
As you will, opponent. As you will. I have this Citadel and I have these Teferis. Yeah, gosh, Jin. Was everybody... I didn't play Magic then. Was everybody just, like, bad at basic statistics? Was that just how it worked? Like, people didn't understand, like, very rudimentary statistics? Or just, like, the people that did never thought to apply it to their card game? Are we in garbage time yet? I don't think so.
Sorry I'm late. Let's take it back. this up as I
we're talking like way back in the day, Matto. Like Innistrad or like revised Legends, like OG Magic, early or like mid 90s. Yeah, and everybody was showing up, like, people were playing 20 lands that included their 4 strip mines. Alright, now I think we can solidly say we're in garbage time.
be later. Let's skip to the good part.
That's not an Elderspell. Yeah. Yeah, overall, I feel like my opinion on this deck from last season really didn't change. It's kind of underwhelming. A lot of your games are just like battle cruiser type Magic. You're like hoping to slam your Citadel down and like do a bunch of stuff. I feel like a lot of the appeal to playing this deck has kind of gone away in a world where there's like Keith's combo and these various Field of the Dead decks. Like there's other things that have a chance to keep up with you. I feel like if I was going to play this again, I would retool the sideboard to include some number of Unmoored Ego, just because without Unmoored Ego, I feel like you're just a huge dog to a lot of the Field of the Dead decks, especially Ali's Golos variation. So I think this deck seems more than reasonable if you're desperate to play Esper, but I think if you're not like, oh my gosh, I love Esper, it's everything I want to be doing in Magic, I wouldn't recommend this